Right off, before I even get into the reading, this is not how I usually start these videos. Water signs. Are we okay? Are we all right? I have tried to do this reading. This is my sixth time trying to get this video out. That's why it's late. It's why I didn't come out yesterday, because there's something going on in the frequency of water sign energy that is, I don't know if it's like a hangover, like a 2-day hangover maybe from New Year's. Did we go hard? Did we go really hard this New Year's? Are we still doing that? I haven't been to a New Year's party in like a while. So I'm sure people do. I mean, people stand in Times Square with diapers on. I found that out. That was something I didn't want to learn about, the whole ball drop in New York. Anyway, but that's not what this is about. This is about looking into January 2025 for all water signs: Cancer, Scorpio, Aquarius. Happy New Year. Happy 2025. I'm glad we made it this far. This year is going to be one for the history books. I know you could probably say that about really any year since 2020, but no, really, because the astrology for 2025 is, and I know we're tired of this word, unprecedented. So many big shifts, so many major generational shifts that are happening all in one year. And with water sign energy, and maybe this is why this reading has been a little tricky to get out, we want to be really, really mindful about what we're giving our emotional attention to. We want to be very mindful about how we are connecting with things that will be impacting us through the heart space. That's obviously true of anybody, but water signs in particular, we hold energy a little bit differently. Every single sign does. Earth signs hold energy different than air signs, fire signs, etc., etc. Um, Try to be mindful this year of what you're consuming. Don't overdo it with the doom scrolling specifically, okay? We're going to start with Cancer. You do not have to have your sun sign in Cancer or any of these water sign placements. You could have a Leo sun with a Cancer rising. You could have a Virgo sun with a Pisces moon, just for any strong placement in your chart. So let's get into how Cancer is going to be vibing for the first month of 2025. This is going to be a big month for you, Cancer, primarily because Mars will be retrograding in about 4 days back into your sign. And then there's going to be a full moon not that long after, conjuncting that Mars retrograde in Cancer. So, and this is going to be true of everybody, but for you especially, you're going to be potentially thrust into a state of evaluation about you and your family. Could be chosen family as well, but this does feel more ancestral to me. Your connection with your family, your connection to home, to roots, and to personal safety. For those of you with kids, there's something coming through about seeing how your upbringing has impacted the way that you are upbringing your children. And there's, for a couple of you, a few come to Jesus moments about this, of being like, oh, I didn't realize X, Y, and Z, that I was doing this or that my kid was responding this way. I feel this surge of authority wanting to come in for Cancer. King of Cups, King of Wands. I want to be in charge is what I'm getting for Cancer. I want my word to be gospel. And I think this might be part of the reason there's something coming up about child rearing for those of you with kids. Yeah, we need to set boundaries for our children, obviously. Like that's how you create a healthy child and a healthy adult. But there's something coming through, and I think this is the Mars retrograde energy, because Mars retrogrades can make us very frustrated, very pent up. And with Cancer, it can make you really passive aggressive, like particularly passive aggressive. I feel like there's this like feeling of like no one's hearing me, and you might find yourself getting a little bit more forceful in the way that you're setting boundaries, especially with your kids. So yeah, there's a lot of ancestry coming up with this 10 of Pentacles here. If your kids, and this is, I'm going to do also readings for those of you with Cancer placements without children, but for those of you with kids, you are going to need to prioritize space away from them sometimes. Like if they're doing, or especially those of you with really little kids who might be crying a lot, who might be, there's a lot of sickness going around right now. A lot of kids are sick, making their parents have to stay home, and the parents get sick. You're going to need to create some healthy emotional boundaries between you and them. Getting space, like, no, I'm not available right now. I'm taking a bath, like whatever it is, just so you don't get into that more kickback authoritarian kind of energy. This is a slow roll for Cancer. this month. Take your time, one foot in front of the other. I have the Fool as well. I do want to get a clarifier on her, see what we might be leaping into, because this is kind of like, yeah, let's start the new year fresh, right? With a fresh perspective, maybe. What is this perspective about for Canada? Well, they did say, like, did we stutter? Family, home, and narratives. Cancer, what narratives are currently circulating within your consciousness that are convincing you that you're trapped? Those of you that feel stuck, whether it's in a career situation, a financial situation, a family obligation, what is the narrative? And is there a way to restructure that narrative? Is there a way to reconstruct how you're thinking about that in a way that's going to be a little bit more liberating for you? I'm just going to pull an advice card, like a general advice card for Cancer. Transmutation. The act of transmutation is taking one element and turning it into something else. Okay, so turning lead into gold. The way that I like to think about this is, how do I transform something that feels heavy into something that's light? And for a lot of you guys, it's going to be through humor. Some of the funniest people I've ever met in my life are Cancers. Cancers and Capricorns, for whatever reason, just the sense of humor that comes out of y'all just send me. Try to laugh more. Try not to take things too personally as much as you can in January. And with Mars retrograde, that's going to be a little bit of a challenge, okay? Let's move into Scorpio and see how my Scorpio babies are going to be doing this month. I'm a Scorpio, so I'm semi-eager to see this. Okay. Okay. What's leaving here? What's coming? So there's a lot about finances coming up for Scorpio for this month. Starting off with the Four of Pentacles, which is sometimes a card of like clinging really, really hard to your resources. In a less intense way, this is the energy of budgeting, making sure that you have enough before you go spend, maybe making I personally, I hate making budgets because it triggers my scarcity programming. And yet I recognize the value of having one. So there might be a little bit of shadow work for Scorpio around money management, being okay with not having as much as you want in the current moment, as long as your needs are met. Like, focus on what you have. Anytime the Four or the Five of Pentacles, because that is also showing up here, shows up, there's always an invitation to be like, okay, well, how often am I focusing on what isn't there versus what is? Remember that abundance doesn't just come in the form of finances. It's just money is one symbol of abundance. And this is connected with this energy with the Death card, like something leaving so something can come in. I asked what was leaving. They said scarcity mindset. Five of Pentacles, what's coming in? The Lovers. Feeling like the choices that you're making around your finances are really in alignment. Being excited to save money. Being excited to spend it on things that you know are really worthwhile, where you're investing in yourself. I really love the sort of imagination or imaginative exercise around the idea of you being in love with money in a very like legitimate, wholesome way, and money being in love with you back. Like, it's this beautiful relationship, this beautiful connection that we have where we mutually support each other. If that sounds cringe to any of you guys, I want you to think about why. Does the concept of money make you tense up, or does it make you open up? Because money is just energy. This was one of the most profound lessons I learned during my next level of awakening back in 2020, was that I had a lot of very, very negative ideas about money. I think because of a lot of conditioning, a lot of social conditioning, and a lot of my own trauma around financial abuse. And I realized that I had this kind of just oh, like money's like, ugh. And it's like, no, money's awesome. Money's actually fantastic. Money can bring so much joy and nourishment into our lives, and not even just our lives, but others. So Scorpio, if you have cringe around the idea of falling in love with money and money falling in love with you, I want you to look at that and see if that's actually helping you or not. The thing about this whole like money management thing is that it's getting in your way of like really enjoying yourself right now. Like, there's a lot of life moving through Scorpio at the moment. I don't know where this came from. I can tell you where it came from me as a Scorpio, because I just made a big move. I moved back home to Southern California, where I do feel more alive. I have so much more energy here than I do like anywhere else. But sometimes when you have all that energy, you want to go out, you want to do things, and having to kind of like pull back on your finances. And you're not going to have to pull back on your finances like all year. Like this is really a Mars retrograde situation. So wait until like spring before you can really kind of be a little bit more lavish. I know that may feel like a while, but trust, it doesn't have to get in the way of you enjoying yourself. Okay. I have temperance. So this is transmutation showing up for Scorpio as well. Nobody does this better than Scorpio. Scorpio is the phoenix. Like we are the ones who take all the shit, we compost it and we make fertilizer out of it. Like we rise from the ashes. I have justice. I have balance coming in for Scorpio. And I do want a clarifier on that. What are we finding balance around? Persistence. I'm actually taking a flower essence right now that literally says persist on it. And celebration. Don't let any financial squeeze, to the best of your ability. Try not, same thing with Cancer. Don't take it personally. Easier said than done. Okay. Don't let it get in the way of you enjoying life. There's other ways to do it. Okay. This is why I several years ago did decide to just like put it on a credit card. It's like, why do I have a Best Buy card if I'm not going to use it? I just bought myself a Switch. And honestly, that Switch, when I just like, when I can do nothing else but just stay home or whatever, it has brought me so much joy. You're allowed to enjoy yourself. Okay. I'm going to pull an advice card for Scorpio and then we'll move into Pisces. Advice for Scorpio. Ooh. Okay. Some of you might be processing some anger. I don't necessarily know what this is around because when I lean in intuitively, it feels like a bunch of different things, but somebody's brother is like really irritating the ever-loving bejesus out of them right now. To move any pent-up frustration with Mars going retrograde in Cancer, like it's not quite a worst case scenario for Mars. It's not great though. Mars doesn't like being in retrograde, period. Mars is the planet of action. Mars hates being in Cancer. It's in its fall in Cancer. There's the potential for a lot of like pent up emotions over the next like till the end of February. Okay. So Scorpio, if you start to notice your stuff is building up, find a release valve for it. Find a release valve. I actually, this is a birthday present for my bestie, but it's called the Damn It doll. And you just you use it. It's very soft. It's very, and you just, this energy needs to come out physically, is what I'm saying. I have inner sanctum. There's this really weird, there must be a couple of you that are sort of like on different ends of this pendulum, but I'm feeling a couple of you being like, all I want to do is stay home and like not have to deal with the outside world, especially because there's like 8 plagues going around at the moment. And then there's another one of you that's like, I don't want to stay home. I want to go out. I want to do all the thing. And like, I just want you to get a Damn It doll, get a Switch, get some games where you can just like burn through some stuff. But physicality, like moving your body, feels very, very important for Scorpio in January. Fun. Last but not least, Pisces. What's going on with Pisces? Ooh. Well, fine, Pisces, I guess. Pisces. January looks beautiful for you. Beautiful. You're going to make all your other water sign friends jealous. I have the 3 of Cups. Just enjoying yourself. This feels like a vacation. This feels like it's the dead of winter, but I'm in the Bahamas. I'm drinking something fruity. I'm drinking something nice. And it feels like a 2-week vacation. Like this doesn't just feel like I have to get it all in 3 days. This feels like I get to relax. I get to enjoy my time. I get to be with people I really care about. I have the sun. So again, I'm getting this kind of like sunny, warm energy from one of you. And with the sun, that's just happy. Like you can't say anything bad about this card. It's one of the few cards in the deck that's true about. You're in your element. I have the High Priestess showing up. And I think I had this reading. It might have been during a TikTok live where I felt like in 2025, Pisces, your intuition is about to go even more bananas than it actually is. Not in a way that feels threatening or catastrophic, but like I think you're going to become a major, major point person for your friends and loved ones who are going through their own awakening, maybe for the first time, and they need like guidance or counseling around it. 9 of Pentacles. You're just feeling good about yourself. King of Pentacles. Money feels good for Pisces in January. Scorpio might be able to take a note from you. I have the Four of Swords. I think all of this beautiful energy is contingent upon you creating space to invite this in, making room for yourself. Like if people are driving you crazy, get some space from them. Rest, restore yourself. Your nervous system will thank you so much for this. Do be careful because that Three of Cups, and I know I tend to hyper focus on Pisces for this. Do be mindful of specifically alcohol consumptions. Wine for one of you is what's coming through. Yes, wine is lovely. And as somebody who used to drink like every single day, all the time, I'm not one to pass any kind of judgment whatsoever. This just feels more like your body is not doing as well with it as maybe you want it to. This has been a collective download I've actually been getting over the past couple of months for everybody because of where we are going vibrationally speaking. Our bodies are not going to be able to tolerate certain things the way that they used to. So a lot of you guys are noticing this in food allergies. Things might taste different. Things might feel different in the body. Like I can't eat dairy anymore. I can't eat gluten anymore. And that's all I used to eat. And I was fine until I wasn't. And this is also true with certain substances. So just be mindful. Like if you start to notice you're feeling like way more tired, even after like, I don't know why it's wine specifically. And it feels like red wine is coming through for one of you. Anything else for Pisces? Like that just felt so good. That just felt so awesome. Yeah, I think there's an invitation for all water signs. I have reflect and then compassion. If you do get any downtime, if that is you out in the Bahamas, just like chilling on the beach chair, the pool chair, drinking that drink that you want to be careful of, think about a couple of things, like maybe a journal prompt around how has being more compassionate with myself changed my life? Am I compassionate enough with myself at all? Like, what is that a concept that is foreign to me? Is that something I'm very comfortable with? Because you deserve to be compassionate with yourself. I am going to pull an advice card for you as well. Ripple outwards and self-heal. Look at that water energy coming in for you. And this almost kind of feels like whatever beautiful energy that you're connected to in January is going to ripple outwards and have a positive impact on other people around you. So, all right. Everybody find a Pisces friend. Do you have an extra ticket to the Bahamas? I would like to go, please. And thank you. All right, guys. I will be back in February to do these again. But please, if you are not following me, if you're not subscribed to my channel, hit all the buttons. I will be updating more and more and more again now that I have more energy, that I've moved back to California. And I look forward to all of it. I look forward to this entire year. You guys take care and Happy New Year.